As you can see from my screen, I'm going to use the bushing model that you developed in the Module 5 video series for the various exercises that we need to do in this video series. Now, I did ask you to save this bushing design, so dig that out and copy the actual bushing 3D object to the clipboard, and then open a brand new 3D design file and plop the bushing into that. And then arrange the 4 standard views as you see on my screen. Now, if you happen not to have the bushing available, then use any other relatively small object that you may have developed in the videos up to this point. Come back when you have the 4 views arranged as shown. Now, the file I'm working is called Module 12, but you can call your design file anything you wish. Having made the design file, you might want to make a couple of copies of this base design file, which you can use later on when we get to the other presentation methods and tools. And one thing you do need to do is make sure that the bushing is a solid single object. If yours is still in the 3 parts that we previously made it from, then you need to go to the Unite Solids tool on the Modify Solids toolbox and use the Create a Union to create the single solid 3D object. Our next step is to create a 3D sheet model in which to reference saved views of the 4 fitted standard views that we see here. Before you do that, however, you need to think about how you want the referenced save views to display. And in this exercise, we need to display hidden lines in the orthographic references. In version SS3 and higher, the reference element line styles can be dynamically linked to the source saved views. In this case, the design model where you made the save views. In other words, the line styles in the sheet model will display the same as they do in the design model. Now note that you don't have to dynamically link the line styles. They can also be set in individual references without linking to the source views, which, by the way, is what you'll need to do in version SS2 or earlier. Now, we're going to use the dynamic link method in this exercise because the concept will be very helpful when we look at the hypermodels method later in this video series. Now, to start this whole process, we need to display the 3 orthographic views in hidden line display. So follow along with me, and provided you have the same view arrangement, this will work just fine. Now, what you're going to do is go to View Attributes, but rather than click on the small arrow for the temporary View Attributes settings box, click on the main icon, which will float it permanently. Now, I'm working in the top view. I can click on that, and the display style right now is wireframe. But I want to change that to hidden line. Notice the display of the top view has changed, but there are no hidden lines. And that's because they're not set yet. So now I need to go across to the magnifying glass icon, which opens the Display Styles dialog. So click on that. And here we see the settings for each of the different display styles. Hidden line is already selected for us, since that's what we just selected. And what I'm interested in is the edge settings box here. Now, visible edges are continuous lines, and if we drop it down, we'll see that it's weight 1, which is fine. And you could add a color here if you want. We don't. Turn on hidden lines, which is the important thing. And you can select a line style. And note here that you only have access to the standard line styles, not custom line styles. I normally select the line style number 2, which seems to work better for most of these objects. But select one that makes sense for your drawing, and the weight will be the same as the visible edges, which is just fine. So when that's set, you can now dismiss this box, and notice that the top view now displays hidden line information, as it should do. Now I need to change the other 2 isometric views, and I can do that with the arrow tool here. Select that, and then select the front view, and select the right side view. And notice that the line styles have changed to hidden line with weight 1 in both cases. So now we're done with that. We can dismiss that box and move on to the next item, which is to create 4 saved views of our standard views here. So let's go up to the Saved View tool, and we'll create 1 save view for each of our open views. So click on the Create Save View icon. Let's give the first one a top name, and we'll click in the top view to select that. Now we have a top saved view, and so on. So I'll leave it to you now to create save views for the front, for the right side, and for the isometric view. Do that and then come back and we'll continue. Now I have all my 4 saved views, and they're all showing the hidden line styles. Now these will be dynamically linked to the reference files, which we're going to create in the next video. So close this box before you continue.